everyone, welcome to our next session of IgniterSpace programming, which is Scratch next lesson. Okay, now today what we are going to make is related to the situation of the country. That means it's about Corona, right? So it's not directly related, but it's somewhat of a theme which is related to Corona. Okay, so today what we're gonna create is a game which we can defeat the virus Corona. Okay, so it works like this. Let's see. The story of this game is like this. Okay, so a virus is attacking your planet, and you are the only hope the Earth has. Earth is your planet, right? So I think you have heard the next phrase from Star Wars. I think, right? The galaxy far, far away comes a hero, a sanitizer bottle to defeat your virus hope. Right? Now, so this is the story that we're gonna take. So let's see how the game works. Okay. Now, so what we are making is similar. The game that we are making is similar to the game which is called the Space Invader. So most of you don't know about the game because it was invented around 1978. But there are cool versions of these games which is available nowadays. And as you can see in the second picture, not the black and white one, the colorful one. As you can see in that picture, that is a version of this game. I think you can see without my face if I okay, so that is a version of this game which is updated from the original game. The original game looks like the first picture. It's only white and green black colors, right? So there's no there's the simplest graphics are there, but back then it was a amazing game, right? So you can see in the right side of your screen, if you are looking at this video, that means it's in the right side of your screen. So the right side, the first picture is the old game, which is created by Nishikado, or the creator of the game, and the one underneath it is a new version. Okay, now, so that is what we are making the game, which is it looks like this. Actually, the virus are descending down, and the hero or the sanitizer called Mr. Dirt Free is attacking the virus form without getting damaged. Okay, let's see. So how the game works? This game works like this. So the Corona Invader game is a fixed shooter game. That means the virus, the sanitizer bottle or Mr. Dirt Free is the hero. So he's fixed as in not moving up and down, but right and left he can move. So when you move the mouse, the character moves with it, and but not up and down. Okay, you have seen games like this, no? Like one finger games where you can control the spaceship and shoot, right? So that is our game. So moving across the bottom of the screen, left and right, that's how you control the hero, which is Mr. Dirt Free, and he can shoot sanitizer drops at the virus to defeat them. Okay, so that's how it works. And if the virus hits the sanitizer bottle, that means the hero, that means we are defeated. Okay, so the game is that. Now the concepts that we are learning from today's lesson, one is conditional statement. So the conditional statement is something like this. In the explanation, in here says conditional statement check whether a program specified boolean condition is true or false. So we don't know about boolean conditions, no? If you know, that is good. Let's say as an example, in the right side you can see there's an example. On the top it says bulb doesn't work. Okay, bulb doesn't work. What we should do, switch is on. We check whether the switch is on, right? If it is yes, switch on the bulb. If the switch is on, okay, no problem. But if the switch is not on, the switch is on, but the bulb is not working, that means the bulb is burnt out, right? And then we have to check the connection and replace the bulb. So condition is something like that. It's something like if you don't be careful, you become sick, right? Something like that. If you don't, you become sick. If you do become careful, you can stay healthy. So a condition conditional statement is like that. We will be learning about those when we are working on our code. Okay. Now repeat until block, I think we have used this before but not sure. So the repeat until block is a conditional loop. Conditional loop as in it happens again and again until it reaches the ending statement. That means, let's say, repeat until touching edge. You got it? So that means if it is a character, it will be moving from wherever it starts the game or the program till the edge, and when it reaches the edge, it will stop, right? So that's how a repeat until block works. So the explanation here, it also explains it. This loop is a similar nature to a while loop in some other programming languages. So other programming languages, we have something called while loops that is very similar to this. Now what else we have? Okay, we don't have anything else, right? We'll get started now. As you all know, I'm giving you a link. You should be going to that link and going to the editor, right? The editor, you know that, no? So scratch MIT edu project /editor/ go to that link and go to the editor. Then we'll start our game. Okay, this is your editor's empty workplace. Okay, now here you are working with this scratch editor. Now we have the characters here, and the script here is like a stage drama, as I explained. We have the characters who act according to the script, right? Now what we're gonna do today, the game that we're gonna create, both of those characters in the game, you know, these two, this guy and this guy, are not in our sprite library. That means here we can't find it here. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to upload one of a character from our library. That means we're gonna create a character and upload it. Okay, so you can select whatever the image you want, but better make it a PNG. PNG means without any background. See this now, as an example, this character doesn't have any background, right? Because you can because of that you can fit it to anywhere you want. Okay, so if I put it in a white background, the background is around the cat is matching for that. So that means a PNG or transparent background. You all know about transparency, you know. Now, so how you download these characters? How you download these characters are like this. Okay. In the video comments or the YouTube videos comments, we have kept two links like this. Or you can just look at it and type even. Okay, no problem. So igniter.link /corona_image, that is our first link. This is the link to download your character image. That means this. Okay, so since we have to work on the same level, or we have to use the same characters, I have given you a link to download that image. Okay, so first link I have copied. Let's say I will copy it again and right click, copy. You can do the same by even looking and typing, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in the web browser here. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in the web browser. As you can see, it's the same link, and then enter. So when you enter, it will redirect you to a place where you can download it, right? Where you can download the image. Now from here you select the 3 dots and download. Okay, so when you select download, it will ask from you a location to save in your computer. So I'm giving the desktop. Okay, I'm gonna name it corona.png and then gonna save it. Okay, the default name you can keep, doesn't matter. Okay, and now for the second link, I'll type it with you guys. Okay, igniter.link /dirtfree_image. So igniter.link, right? .link slash, I think, right, I can't remember. Igniter.link /dirtfree_image /dirtfree underscore image. See, you can even type it, there's no issue. If it is the same link, there will be no issue. Downloading the image. Okay, so I have selected the link and enter, and then here we go, we have the image. Okay, so you can download it either from here, see, download, or right click. Oh no, you can't right click and download, so you download from here and select the location as the previous one, that will be on your desktop. Okay, yeah, save. Now that will be saved to your computer. Since we have it in our computer, we will start building. Now if you want to see where it went, you can always select the file and show in folder, that will show where it is. Okay, now I added it to a wrong place. You have to give the desktop. I gave the desktop, doesn't matter where you select. Okay, okay, now this is the first not that. Okay, this is the first image that we download, and this is the second. Okay, now I'm going to close that. We'll go back to our original game. Now, how you import two characters or two images which is in your computer, how you do that? Now first we'll delete this one, we don't need the cat. Okay, you go to choose a sprite and you go to upload sprite. Okay, so this can be very interesting if you know how to design a character, right? You can even color them, you can select costumes, it will be interesting. Okay, so that is up to you. You can go crazy on the characters, you can create a character, you can design it however you want. Okay, once you're done, make it a PNG, upload it. PNG as in a transparent background image, an image without a background color. Okay, so you go desktop. What is the first image that we want? It's Mr. Dirt Free, right? I'm going to select that guy. That will be imported to our the sprite library. Now again go to upload sprite. What is the second image we need? The virus image, right? I got this image because this looks funny and the virus is it looks funny. Okay. Okay, now we have two images. What is the problem that we have? The sizes, right? The sizes are a big problem. Now I'm gonna decrease the size of these two images. Okay, from here we'll make Mr. Dirt Free like around 40. That sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna keep him in the middle, make the size 40, keep him in the middle. Corona, get the virus, make it like 30. Okay, that is too big. Still 20. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, now then we can keep him in a side for now. Let's keep him here. Yeah, okay. Now there are two important things. There is a center of a character. That means let's say now I told you the game is to shoot the virus sanitizer drops, right? So the drops are supposed to be coming from here, right? On the top of Mr. Dirt Free. How we do that is like this. Okay, you go to costumes. There's a pretty simple way to do that. You select Mr. Dirt Free, you go to costumes. Okay, so when you go to costumes, you can see an image here. Now this is Mr. Dirt Free now, and select the whole thing. Okay, so when you select this tool, you can select the character. Now can you see this plus mark here? There will be a plus mark there. I'll just shrink it. When you're shrinking, don't make it stretched. Okay, now this gray color cross is what I am talking about. Okay, this guy, if you align the character with that, then you can make sure the bullet comes out of that place. Can you see the black color cross inside a circle? That is what I'm talking about. So what I did was, in the beginning, there were two characters. The first one is Mr. Dirt Free. I selected Mr. Dirt Free and then back to costumes. So in the costumes the image was like this. So what I did was, I selected this tool. It was default selected by default, but anyway you can, okay, and then I decrease the size like this. Why I used resizing button in here was, when you resize from here, it won't be stretched like this. See, if you use side arrows, that will be a problem. So use the one on the corners here, these ones, okay. Make it small, okay. Select it, make it small, okay, and then keep him here. Okay, the reason I did that was, when the bullets come out of Mr. Dirt Free, that means this guy, it's supposed to come from here. If it is from, if it comes from the middle, that is not, it doesn't look good, right? So when it starts from here, it looks good. So I resized him and kept him aligned to the center. That means the cross. That was simple, right? Okay. Now going back to the code. Okay. So the first thing that we have to we have to do is, we have to increase the size actually. Now since we shrink the size, we have to increase the size. Let's make it like 50. A little bit. Okay, of 60. Okay. Now grab this guy and keep him in the middle. I'll make it 70 anyway. That actually depends on your liking, okay. If you want it to be bigger, make it big, but then that will affect the game, okay. That's why I kept it like this. This much of a size, it doesn't matter. So when the gameplay comes, it looks like this. See, it's a suitable size, no? That's why I kept it like that. So resizing it is up to you. You resize it however you want, doesn't matter, okay. Now first thing that we have to do is give it a starting location. Starting location, we have to say, when I click the green flag, be in the center. Usually the game starts, the character is in the center, right? Okay, so I kept him in the center, and you already know how to get this done, right? How we do that? We go to events, we get the, when the green flag is clicked flag, I'll zoom it in, I'll increase the size. Now you guys can see. Okay, I'm going to say, when the green flag is clicked, go to this location, go to the starting location, go to motions, go to 1 and 116. What about this block? I told you, if I change the position of the character, this one changes as well. So I want him in the center, I keep him in the center. Okay, I have to increase the size. I keep him in the center, let's say around here, and then I get the block, go to XY. Got it? No, 0 means that is in the character is in the edge of the screen, that's why it's 0. Okay, now the next one is movements of the character. Movements of the character, we are doing it like this. How we are doing it? So we can either say it has to be controlled with the arrow keys, that means left and right arrows, but that will be like too old, right? We have done that already. So I'm giving you a new way to move the character. That means in your computers, that means if you make it a mobile application, that will be great, because in mobile applications you don't have to give let's say now the touch screen phones that we have today, they don't have buttons, right? Left or right buttons they don't have, they only have a touch screen. So let's say you want to make it a touch screen game. How you do it? You move it with your finger, right? So the same way here, we are going to assign the mouse to the movements. Okay, that means we're going to say when the mouse moves, the character should move with that. Okay, how we do that? We go to control and get a loop. You guys know about the loops, no? We have used this several times, right? And then where should it move? What is left and right? X, right? See, arrow X. That means horizontal movements are according to X. Okay, that means X is left and right. Now go to motions, get the block which says set X2. Okay, get the block which says set X2. Okay, and then where should the X should be set it? That means where should it follow, where the character should follow, wherever the mouse goes. Now mouse's position is in here, that means X position. Oh sorry, mouse X is let's say where's mouse X. I forgot to tell you one thing. This event is in sensing. Okay, so the movement of the mouse is also an event, but Scratch haven't made it an event, so we have to go to sensing and create our own event. Okay, so you go to sensing, you select mouse X. Okay, mouse X means going to left and right, movements of the mouse going left and right. Okay, it won't go up and down, only X and left and right movements, horizontal movements it will detect. Okay, let's see how it works. Perfectly. See, if I take it up, if I move the mouse up, nothing happens because it's only tracking mouse X movements, noise. Now we are done. Okay, then that is the movements of the mouse. So I will show you one more time. That's how the simple code like this will do that. And how this works, when I click the green flag, the character goes to the original location. Oh, sorry, it's following the mouse, so it can't go to the original location. Now I stop the code. Always stop the code when you're editing. The second thing that you should do is creating like when the, now you can see in these high graphical games, when the hero is attacked, something happens, no? So sometimes he get injured and there's like blood on his face and there are injuries on his face. Now today we can't do that much of graphic, right? So we are using a simple trick to make Mr. Dirt Free glow up. Okay, let's see how we do it. You go to events, you get when the green flag is clicked button, this guy. Okay, when the green flag is clicked, the character should be there, right? When the game starts, the character should be there, no? So we get show, and with show comes the hide. Okay, these guys are like a couple, so you have to use both of them if you are using. Okay, so I will keep the hide here, we don't need him for now. So I'm going to keep the show under when the green flag is clicked. Now this game will, when the game starts, the character will be shown, that means appears. Okay, it appears when the game starts. Now how we are creating these two costumes, this is how you do it. You go to you select Mr. Dirt Free. If it is already selected, no worry. You go to costumes. Now you only have one costume, right? It says Mr. Make Dirt Free. That's the name I gave, but you can give whatever you want. Okay. That's a cool. Okay, now right click, duplicate, then you have two costumes. Okay, now the second costume I have to show that this guy is blowing up. So when something is blowing up, what appears? What does appears? there's fire, right? So the fire I'm gonna create by circles. Select the circle, go to color, get orange. Fire is orange, somewhat orange. Okay. Let's say fire is like this, and then I'm going to create some red bubbles. And then I'm going to create some white bubbles to show that smoke. Make it a little bit gray. Okay. Oh, he's blowing up. Okay. Now the next picture, you duplicate the first one again. The next picture will be like all he's covered in smoke, like entirely. Okay, so select the circle tool, select gray. Smoke is gray, right? So select gray, and he's covered in smoke entirely. This will be so cool when it ends, so be patient. Okay. Okay, so he's covered in smoke. That's the end. Now we have 3 costumes. The first one is Mr. Dirtfree, Mr. Dirtfree 2, Mr. Dirtfree 3. Now go to code, show the character. That is the end. That is the end of that session. Okay, we go back to code, show the character when the game starts, and switch costume to costume 1. Okay, how we do that is we go to looks, and in looks there's switch costume to, get that, and select the first costume. Okay, when the game starts he should be in the first costume. Okay, now the virus is this guy. Okay, so I'm going to say wait until he touches the virus. Okay, if he is touching the virus, boom, gone, right? Everything is gone. Now that means you lost the game. Wait until block is in controls. Go to controls. Yes, wait until. I'm looking for wait until. Yeah, that was in controls. Okay, now you should be able to remember that. Okay, now when wait until touching the next character, that means the bad guy virus. Okay, touching, where is that? There should be a wait, is it that? Here, touching mouse pointer. I'm gonna get that first block. I'm gonna change this to corona. That means the bad guy, this one. Okay, now when touching the bad guy or the virus, what should happen? The game should end, right? If the hero is touching the virus, that means he is infected and he is defeated. So we have to broadcast a message saying game over. Okay, so back then we used collision detection to do something else, but here we are upping our game, or like updating our skills. Okay, now we are broadcasting a message. Okay, we're gonna tell to the whole code, that means this guy and all the code, to say that the hero has touched the virus and he is defeated. To do that, you go to events, and then broadcast message. Okay, broadcast message, select that and create a message. How we do that is you click on the down arrow and click on new message. Then let's say game over. Just simply type game over. Okay, and click enter. So we have created a message called game over. When the hero touches the virus, it will say game over. Okay, now then what should happen? When it touches the virus, the costume also should change, right? That means the blowing up thing that we created. So switch costume to, that is in looks. What is the costume that has to be switched it to? Dirt free 2. Okay, Mr. Dirt free 2. Now then this should happen like in order, right? 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So there should be a pause in between, no? So what we're going to do is we're going to say wait for 0.3 seconds. That will be okay, otherwise there will be a lag. Okay, if you wait 1 second, that will be too long, so 0.3 seconds will be okay. Not 0, just say dot 3, that means full stop and 3. Wait for 0.3 seconds. Okay, and then switch costume to the Mr. Dirt free 3. Again go back to looks, switch costume to Mr. Dirt free 3. Okay, so this will happen when you finish the collision code that we're gonna do next. Okay, so this will all make sense in the end. Okay, I will explain every code one by one when the final code is complete. Okay, now we have done the first code. As I said, we have used a show code. If you are using show code, we have to use a hide code. Okay, so you're going to keep this guy in the end. Also today we are making a clone, right? We are making a clone of the character, not genetically, just computer clones. Okay, now the second one that we have to program is the bullet. So the bullet. Okay, so the bullet is something which comes out of Mr. Dirt free. This is why we have aligned Mr. Dirt free to the center of the character. That means we made the center of the character, oh sorry, my bad, we made the center of the character top of the lid, this green color thing, right? See, that's what we did, no? So when the bullet generates, the bullet generates from here. You guys can see that, no? What I did is I selected the whole character. Okay, zoom in, and then I moved it to the center. See, perfectly aligned, no? That is not something complex, I just kept it like that. Then the bullet generates from here. It looks more realistic then. Okay, so now to create a bullet. Now a bullet is not something that comes out of a thing, no? So we have to create a bullet. Okay, we have to create a bullet. So a bullet is also a sprite. Okay, a bullet is also a sprite. So we can create a sprite from here. See, to paint, you're gonna paint a bullet. Okay, now this time you have to align it as well. Okay, so you zoom in several times so you can see the squares properly, and then create a circle and fill it with color. Color I am selecting is light blue because we can see it properly, I think. Now, and then I'm gonna create a small ball. Okay, so when I zoom out, it is like that much. Okay, so if we need to increase the size, we can increase it later on. Okay, now I have generated the sprite. We call it the bullet. Okay, or bullet, or the drop, or sanitizer drop, or whatever. Okay, so you can rename it by selecting it here and giving it a name. Let's say bullet or drop. Let's say drop. You can name it whatever you want. Okay, now this is what we did so far. We have created the first two characters and the third one, and we have completed the first character's code and moving on to the second character, which is the bullet or the projectile which generates from Mr. Dirt free. Size of the drop will increase a little bit. Let's see, 150. Okay, now this much will be okay. See, so compared to the bottle, the bullet is like this. That is okay. Sizes are your thing, so you have to decide whether it should be bigger or small. No problem. Okay, now how the shooting process should happen. It should happen when you press the space bar. Okay, it should happen when you press the space bar. Now, so select the drop character and then we will code it. I'm going to minimize it. Okay, the first thing that we have to do is cloning. Okay, how the bullet, now this is just one character, right? We just created one character, so you can create multiple characters and code them individually, but making clones is pretty easy. Got it? When you ask the computer to make a clone, it will make it simply. You don't have to make duplicates and code it. That will be making the code more complex. Okay, so to do that, we go to events and get space key is pressed, because that is our shooting event. The bottle will shoot when the space key is pressed, and when the space key is pressed, a clone should be created. Okay, now these three codes we are using. So I am getting when the space key is pressed, create a clone of myself. That means it will create a clone of this character. Okay, and then wait for 1 second. When you wait for 1 second, otherwise what will happen? It will generate again and again rapidly. Okay, then we have to wait 1 second. Yes, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so when the space key is pressed, create a clone of myself. That means drop, and then see, myself means this one, because inside him we are creating this code. Okay, so keep the myself thing, don't change it. Now when the space key is pressed, create a clone of myself, wait for 1 second. That's it. Then the next thing is okay, the next thing is like this. When the green flag is clicked, it should hide. When the green flag is clicked, nothing will happen. No, we have to shoot only if the space key is pressed. Okay, now you go to events, you get the green flag is clicked thing, and then again we are using hide and show. So go to looks. This time we are only using hide actually. Okay, when the game starts, it will be hidden. See, now you see the dot, now you don't. Okay. Okay, now then forever, if the mouse down is pressed, we should shoot. Now I told you, now the space key is pressed, it will shoot, but without that we will use the mouse down. Okay, then when you are using this app to create a mobile application, again you don't have to use a button, you can use just a click. So double tapping on the screen will shoot. Correct? Okay, so we will keep this anyway, we don't need it, but just keep it. Go back to controls, get a forever block. Now the condition that we have to make in order to shoot rapidly, that means again and again, is if the mouse down is clicked, that means we are programming the mouse down, that means the left click of the mouse will be the shooting event. Okay, now the where's the mouse down thing is in sensing. Go back to sensing, there's mouse down. Okay, when I press the green flag, hide forever if the mouse down is pressed, that means if the left mouse key is pressed, what should happen? Create a clone of myself. That's in controls, create a clone of myself, and then wait for 1 second. So sorry, not 1 second, just a 0 second. Okay, not 1 second. That means don't wait at all. Okay, here we go. Now what will happen, if the green flag is clicked, it will be hidden. If the mouse down is clicked, wait for 1 second and create a clone of myself. Okay, see, no bullets, wait, no bullets, the green flag is clicked, and when you press the mouse, still nothing is there. Why? We haven't programmed it yet. Okay, now I'll minimize it and go back to the code. So we have to complete the entire thing in order to see some results. Okay, so we'll quickly finish it off. In this side I'm going to create the remaining one. Okay, now when I start as a clone, when this bullet starts as a clone, what should happen? We should be shooting up, right? It should be shooting up. Now, so go to controls, select when I start as a clone, that is a starting event. So the clones only listen to these clone codes, that means these three. Without these three, the clones won't work. Okay, now when I start as a clone, what should happen? The bullet has to be shown because it is hidden. Now it has to be shown. Go to looks, yeah, is show, get show. I zoomed it in because you guys can see properly. Okay, I can zoom more than this. Hope you guys can see properly. Okay, then when you start as a clone, it should go to Mr. Dirt Free. Okay, so how you do that? Go to motions, go to not to a random position. I got this block, not to a random position, but to Mr. Dirt Free. So Mr. I just named it Mr. But depending on your character's name, this thing, depending on your character's name, it changes. Okay, so go to Mr. That means this guy. Now when you go to Mr. Dirt Free, what should happen? It should repeat until it touches, it should work until it touches the edge. That means if it touches the edge of the screen, it should disappear, right? Otherwise it will be just stuck there. Okay, so go to get a event, control repeat until, where's that? Repeat until. So this is the conditional loop that I was talking about. This loop will continue until this condition is met. Okay, so what is the condition that we are going to give? If touching the edge. So go to sensing, if touching the edge of the screen, from down arrow select edge. Okay, now when I start as a clone, show, go to Mr. Dirt Free, that means this guy, repeat until touching the edge, that means edge of the screen. Change y by 10, that means then we have to ask this guy to go up, so the bullets fly up, no, from Mr. Dirt Free to the virus, that means up above the screen. Up down means y, so let's go to motion and change y, get a change y by block. This is x, that's y, this. Okay, so it will change y by 10, and then what should happen? So when it touches the edge, it should delete, right? There's no purpose after touching the edge. Now to do that, you go to control. See, I told you we are using all these clone codes. Create a clone of myself. Where's the rest? Start as a clone, delete the clone. See, without all these three, it won't work. That is the clone, the way of the clones. Okay, now let's see how it works. I think we have completed that. Okay, see, when I click the left mouse click, it works. Okay, I will tell you how this will work if I don't wait 0 seconds. Let's say 1 second is wait, it will create a lag. See, now the computer has been stuck, it doesn't work. Why? Because it's creating too many clones. I stop the program. I'll make it 0. Okay, that's why we gave it 0 seconds. Now it's working, see. So don't do that. I just showed you. If you do that, this will happen. Okay, so we don't need that. Don't do that. Now the final and the last character is the virus. Okay, the virus we all hate, right? So to program the virus, we just go to the virus. Obviously, we go to the virus and going to create this code. Okay, so in the end I will show the entire code step by step, so you can take screenshots or pause the video, you can see whatever you want, and for now we will just move on. Okay, if you want to go back, you can go back to the video and pause it and write the code. Now I went to Corona, the virus character, and I'm going to program it now. So here also there shouldn't be only one virus. There shouldn't be only one virus. There should be clones of virus. That means there should be several characters like a virus. So the same thing which happened to bullet will happen to this. We are going to create clones of this virus. Okay. So the first thing to do that is when I start as a clone. When you start as a clone, when I start as a clone, what should happen? We should show ourselves, right? When I start as a clone, this clone, the original image has to be shown. Right? So go to looks, show. When I start as a clone, show. Simple. And then where it should be coming down from, that means from the top of the screen to the below bottom of the screen. Start from here, you come down, right? So the order it should happen is not in a it shouldn't happen in a order. If it happens in a order, we can predict it and we can stay in the same location without touching the virus. But in order to make it more complex, we say start from a random location, go to a random location and start coming down. Okay, so to do that, you go to you go to motions and then go to X and Y block, get this block. Okay, so I just got this block. Now I'm going to say y is 180. Y 180 means y 180 means the top of the screen. So I'm going to make it 180, and then from the top to the bottom it should come, right? Now so go to operators and get pick random, this one, operators, and get this pick random and fix it here, fix it to the first block. See, go to X and then I fix the pick random one. Okay, kept it there. Now pick random, what is the pick random location? X minus 240. I will explain why I kept that number, plus 240. That means the farthest as far as you can go to the left side and the right side. See, 240 means this side, and plus 240 is this side, left and right. Now then what should happen? It should repeat until y position is minus 180. I told you plus 180 means top of the screen, that means minus 180 means the bottom of the screen. Repeat until, again we go to operators and select less than. Okay, less than. If it is going less than 180, it should disappear. Oh yeah, it should disappear, right? Now if the y position is less than 180, Y position is here in motions. If the Y position is less than 180, change Y by 6. That means this has to come down, no? So to get that one done, here. Okay, change Y by -6. That means the speed. Okay, I will finish the code and I will show you. Change Y by 6 and then delete the clone. We don't need the clone after that. After reaching the end of the screen, we don't need the clone, so we delete it. Start as a clone, show, go to random position, left and right, wherever. That means we can start from here, 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 here. See, you can start the game anywhere from top of the screen. Then it becomes random, so we can't predict where the virus will come from. Okay, that's what we are trying to achieve here. But the starting position of the screen will be always on top, but somewhere to the left and right side. Okay, horizontal location will be unpredictable, but always portrait location will be on the top of the screen. That's what we did here, and then it will repeat until the virus touches the bottom of the screen like this. Okay, and then change Y by 6, we used it to make the character descend down. That means this should come down, that's why. Okay, then I explain the code, then we are moving to the second block of the code. So I will go to the left. Just keep it here. I hope you guys can see. Yes, I'm having a hard time turning this guy. Okay, I'll create it here and then align it later. Okay, so when the green flag is clicked, that means the starting event of the game. When the green flag is clicked, what should happen to the virus? It should be hidden, otherwise it will be always there in the screen, right? I don't want to see the virus when the game starts. So when the green flag is clicked, go to looks, hide. Okay, go to the looks, and when the green flag is clicked, it should be hidden, and then forever create a clone of this character. That's a clone, guys. Here, create a clone of myself, and then wait for 1 second, and then what's the problem? Too many viruses. Too many viruses creating clones of themselves. So how we gonna solve this? We can say wait for 1 second and then clone it again. Okay, so this is very useful. Let's see what happens now. No, that's slow. If you increase the waiting time, that will create the virus slower. Okay, just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna keep it here. It's pretty simple. Now everything's falling into the place. Let's see the final, not the final, like this is like the step before the final step, right? So the step before the final step is this. When I start as a clone, when this character start as a clone, where's that? Oh yeah, when I start as a clone, wait until touching the sanitizer. This is the place where we animate it to blow up. Okay, so how we do that? When I start as a clone, wait until touching the sanitizer bottle. That means Mr. Dirt Free. That's my name. You come up with one of your own. Okay. Now, if we wait until touching the sanitizer bottle, I named it Mr. So I selected that. See, all the characters are here. So this is the one I want. I selected that, and then we have to create a scoring system. So this is a part of your challenge. Okay, so you have to create a ending score. I will explain that by the end of the game. So we need a score now. So we go to variables. That's how we create scores. We go to variables, make a variable called score for all the sprites. Okay, now we have a variable called score. Change the score by 1. Then change the score by 1. When I start as a clone, okay, change the score by 1 and then delete this clone. Delete clone, where's delete clone? Okay, so let's see how it works. Something wrong with it. Let's see what the problem is. Oh yeah, the problem is we have selected the wrong this thing. Okay, we'll go back to Corona. We shouldn't be touching the sanitizer bottle, right? We should be touching the drops. We should be touching the drops. Okay, now let's see how that works. Now it's working. Otherwise it should be touching the Mr. Dirt Free in order to increase the score. And let's see how the crashing thing happens. Nice, it worked, you know. Okay, let's see one more time. Shooting happens like this when you click the mouse button, left mouse button, and the crashing happens like this. Got it? No, I'm showing you the code now. But the problem is when the game is over, we should be showing a screen. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. Where's the backdrop? We haven't had a backdrop. A suitable backdrop will be like a less colorful one without less details. So let's select one. So I was talking about planets, right? The planets are in the sky, so something about space. Hey, what's that? This is the one I had in the image, but I'm going to select these stars. Looks good, no? Okay, now this is a partially completed game. Okay, so I'm giving you a challenge to complete it. Now this is the entire code. Sorry, wait, there's one more left. I'll explain that. Now when the game is over, we should show something like game over, you lose, or something that, right? So in order to show that, today we need the stars, that means the backdrop. We are not changing the backdrop today, but sending a set of letters saying game over. Okay, so how we do that? We're going to create a character which says game over. So I'm going to go to the choose a sprite and going to create a sprite by going to paint, and here I'm going to type game over. I selected the T letter, that means a typing tool. Game over. Okay, now as you can see, the letters are very small, so I'm going to increase the size by selecting the letters. Here, and again this is the center of the screen, so I'm going to select this guy, get him to the center of the screen. That's good. You can keep it wherever you want and make it a little bit bigger if you want. Okay, now that's okay. A little bit to the left. Here we go. Okay, and then if you want to increase the size more, you can always increase it from here. Okay, then what is the code that we are going to give this sprite? So we created this thing called the broadcasting messages, right? Where did we create it? Here. Here. Broadcasting message game over. That means when we lose the game, right? So when we lose the game, this guy should be appeared. You can select whatever color you want. Okay, I selected the blue because it was the default color it was shown. Now when I receive the message broadcast, this should be shown, but let's see how it goes. When I receive the message broadcast, here, that is in events. When I receive game over, okay, when I receive game over, what should happen? This should be shown. Go to looks, show. Okay, when I receive game over, show. And so now let's start the game. What happens when the game starts? Even the game over screen is there. What should happen when the game stops? That means when the game starts, what should happen to the game over screen? It should be disappeared, right? So simply when I click the green flag, that means when the game starts, hide it. As I told you, show and hide always go together. Now we are done. Okay, so the challenge that you are gonna get, okay, first I will play the game and show you guys. So click the green flag to show, start, shoot the bad guys. Okay, if you don't, so I created this cheat. If you click if you press down the mouse button, you can create a line of bullets, so nothing can come fast in that, right? See, okay, so that is a hack. Now what is the ending event? Virus touching the bottle. You saw the animation, right? That's why we created so many bottles. Game starts, shoot the virus, increase the score increases. Okay, and how the game ends? By the virus touching the character. Okay, we are done. Now the challenge is, I want you guys to create a ending score. That means, let's say when you score 100, when you score 100, you should be winning the game, right? So I just created a game over, and I'm increasing the score, but there's no end to it, right? See, since I started that variable, it's going up. Okay, but I want a reset. Now I have told you this before. In variables we have things like this that you can use. When the game starts, set score to 0. You can use this, and every time the hero defeats a coronavirus, that means every time you hit a virus, the score increases by 1. That we did in here. No? See, change the score by 1 whenever the sanitizer is touched. And then what we need to do is, we have to set a starting score of 0, and then if you reach the score limit, let's say if the score limit is equal to, I'm just giving you a tip, okay, I'm not doing it. If the score limit is equal to 50, the game should be stopped, and here should appear you won. Okay, that is your challenge. I want you to try doing that, and if you have any questions, there will be a mail address under the video saying my mail address, so you can contact me. Okay, so I want you to do this challenge. Go through the code one more time, go through the video, and try to do this alone. If you want help, you can ask your parents even, no problem. and goodbye then. So try to do the challenge. Okay, that is very important for you to learn about this score variable. Okay, now if I am showing the code one more time, so the first character we did this, you can see, in the first character these are the things that we created. Okay, and in the second character again these are the things we did, I think you can see, and the third character, the virus, these are the code that we added, and the last one, this is just I got to explain, this is only the code that we added. Okay, and we have created 3 costumes for the first character. Okay, so remember those, go through the video one more time if you have any questions, and try to do this alone. Okay, so stay safe at home guys, see you at in the next session. Bye.